does a lack of WAP mean? What does it say about desire? I'm going to answer that question because inquiring minds wants to know if they like you, if they ain't know WAP. But first, the intro. And welcome back to another episode of the Daily Donna. And today we're going to have us a straight up sex conversation. Now, here's why. I just got back from the MLK Library in Washington, D.C., and they did a Valentine's Day 101 Q&A, and I forget how much I love being in space with other sex educators and therapists because we already know. Right? It's not having to correct somebody's answer like, what the hell are you talking about? We were all on the same page. Like when I tell you that there was like a question about sexual addiction and all of us kind of like collectively looked at each other, just like, does anyone on this panel believe sexual addiction? Yep, none of us follow the addiction model where it comes to sexual addiction or porn addiction. Those things are not things. Those things are things outside. Those things are not things in here. We talk about compulsive behaviors, yes, but also having to normalize where people are with the sex in the first place, because so many of us learn this idea that there is a requisite number of times you should have sex. And if you have sex more than that, then you're addicted. And if you have it less than that, then, you're fine or whatever. Woo, Lord. So, in honor of that, I want to invite you to ask me all of your sexual questions. And I'm going to go ahead and put a link in the description so that you can ask your questions anonymously. And I will offer anonymous answers because on occasion, inquiring minds want to know. So, I want to get into today's topic. What about that WAP? I feel like I can't really say it, so I'm not going to. But before we really get into the conversation, just your credential check again. I am Dr. Donna Oriowo. I am a sex and relationship therapist in the Washington, D.C. metro area. My education is literally on sex and sexuality. Boom. Hey. So I want to remind you also that I am a therapist. I am not your therapist. That means that what I'm giving you here is general educational considerations. This is not about your specific situation. You need someone on your specific situation, then you need to go and have a consult. Go ahead and select to pick my brain or something or whatever. But I am not your therapist in this moment. I am like your internet educated friend who wants to talk about sex a little bit. So, what does a lack of wet ass mean where it comes to sexual desire? Like, what does it really mean? Does that mean that person doesn't want you because they not, naturally lubricated? No. A lot of people believe that whether or not there's lubrication or not lubrication, that it says something about whether or not somebody wants you. No, it doesn't. I want to go ahead and repeat. No, it doesn't. Here is a list of other things that it could be. It could be that they are dehydrated. The dehydrated body does not perform at its peak, right? It could mean that they are having some desire discordance, which means that they feel it, they know they want it, but their body hasn't caught up yet. And there is a whole process that has to happen inside the body for it to get to that yummy, let's have some fun sort of space. Your reminder here is that desire is in the mind. Desire is not just in the body. And knowing that sometimes you can experience personal lubrication, but you don't actually want to do anything with it. The whole point is that it readies the path, as it were, for entry. It does not mean that you are saying yes, and the lack of a slick road in does not mean that you are saying no. It means that your partner, whoever they are, needs to listen to your mouth and not just to your body. Body language is delightful. It's delicious. It's yummy, yummy. But if you think that regular biological occurrences are going to be the thing to determine what you want, then you have lost it. Let me give you an example. I have been in the food head mind space like all day, but I'm going to go ahead and give a food example anyway. So you just ate this sumptuous meal. You ate before you left home. Like, I don't know if you grew up with parents that be like, there's rice at home, right? Like, or do you have McDonald's money? So you eat at home. You eat, you're full, you feel good, you feel satiated, and now it's time to go out. You go out and you find out that your friend is actually having this get together at some restaurant. And now you're seeing all this food and you smelling all these delicious smells. And what happens? Your mouth starts watering. Here's the thing. You know you're not hungry. You know that you are not hungry, but your body is behaving as though it is preparing to receive some of the sumptuous meal that you see before you that you don't even want. That's the same thing that can happen. Sometimes there is something being displayed for you and your body is doing the process of getting ready. Why? Because it doesn't want you to choke. So you get more saliva to lubricate that throat so that, so that the food can just slide on down to tummy town. Your belly is trying to digest what is there and trying to also create additional room. It doesn't mean that you're hungry. And as a matter of fact, the idea of eating may also feel abhorrent to you in that moment, because you already ate. So your body readying itself is because the olfactory senses are just like, hey, oh, we about to eat? I didn't know we was eating. Let me get stuff ready, right? It's like, oh, let me get this ready because we're going to have company, right? It's let me clean the living room. Let me do these dishes. Let me not let, I want to make sure that this person does see this is how we be living on a regular basis. It's let me get this space ready and make possible room. The same thing can happen lubrication personally wise, right? Where you may find that you're a little bit slick, but you said no to that. You don't want none. Sometimes the body is doing something before you have made a decision up here about what you're wanting, which also means that sometimes you have decided in a split second that you want it, but your body is not cooperating or it's not there yet. That's what I say. Go ahead and get lube. Please, lube is your friend. You can never have too much. Not really. Use it. However much you just thought to use, put maybe 10 to 20% more, and then you will actually have enough. But I also would be remiss if I didn't say that so many people are not having enough personal lubrication because you're dehydrated. You need water in your body. No, you cannot drink Starbucks and think that that's going to do it. No, you cannot have coffee and think that is going to do it. No, you need to drink some water. You want to make sure that your body is appropriately lubricated, not only because, or hydrated, not only because proper hydration can lead to better lubrication, but it can also lead to better orgasms, which you might be lacking if you're dehydrated. So that is really the message for today. I just want to remind us that desire starts in the mind, that the body can be doing what the body is doing. And if the mouth said no, then the answer is no. That's consent. What someone says, not what you have interpreted based off what your glands are doing. And because this has also come up several times in space, people have wondered, like, if I didn't want what was going on, but I have an orgasm, what does that mean? It means that you had an orgasm. That's it. And I wouldn't have called it an orgasm in the first place. I would call it you had a release of bodily tension. Because an orgasm suggests almost like an alignment of mind and body and spirit and all these things, and to say that the thing is enjoyable. If your body releases tension, it may feel good that the tension has been released. But if you did not desire what happened, then that is it's not an orgasm. It's not a proper peak reaching. It is simply your body doing what it needs to do in order to reset itself. So I just wanted to make sure that we are one band, one sound where it comes to desire being in the mind, that bodily lubrication is not an indication of wanting or not wanting, that you must actually use your mouth, which is a really great book by Shamira, Dr. Shamira Howard. But I want you to just remember this. You can go ahead and submit your questions at the link below, and I will do a Q&A, and really we're talking all things sex and sexuality. So you submit the question, and if you're feeling brave, you could just put it in the comments right here, and I will get to them before Valentine's Day, because I'm here how often? Every day. Thank you for taking the time to watch this Daily Donna video. I know it's a little bit shorter than our other ones, but there's no need for me to keep you for no good reason. All right, so tell me, what are some reasons that you feel like you have not experienced the WAP you wanted to experience? Inquiring minds want to know, but keep it clean, because, it's YouTube and the kids born here, All right, I will see you tomorrow for another Daily Donna, where we talk all things sex, love, relationships, and the culture. All right, bye.